Hey everyone, my name is Gordon and this is my little story so you can get to know me just a little bit more. So I joined AIESEC quite not too long ago. It was almost 3 years ago to be exact, from January 2011. And how I really joined was, I was just curious. I was like, could there be something on the campus level that could completely change my life? And it wasn't because I found AIESEC first, I think it actually found me. And it was through its power to make people fall in love with the organization. And it was literally my friend and friends who just kept saying, you should check this out, AIESEC, AIESEC, AIESEC. And I was like, you gotta stop telling me about AIESEC because I'm hearing it way too much from you. And at first I thought, this is a crazy thing. It almost sounds like a cult in some sort. And I think a lot of us think of it that way. But what really captivated me was when I first joined, I entered as an online media coordinator, but I didn't fall in love exactly with the idea that I was doing social media on a professional level now, but more so because of the community around it. It was the community that really transformed the way I saw what I could possibly do as a young person. And when I went to my first conference, I was still a general member and I was looking at the facilitators and the speaker and I was like, how is it possible that they're doing something like this when they're only like 20-something years old? And I'm here being 18 years old thinking, what if I could do that one day? What if I could stand in front of the stage and tell the world of what I truly believe in for the world? And from that point on, I became extremely passionate about this organization. Not just saying I believe in it, but actually performing and doing actions that speak these words. And from there on, I took on a lot of positions, but more importantly, I ran for local committee president and ended up losing. I ran for local committee vice president, ended up losing again. And I started thinking, what does it mean by the internal leadership journey? And that's where it really struck me. When I lost those positions, it enabled me to show how hungry I was for this type of positive impact on society. And from that point on, it really enabled me to reflect, challenge myself, and look inward to find this kind of notion of purpose. And my purpose for life really resonated when I applied for the national position for AIESEC Canada in marketing communications. And once that happened, that's where I swear to God, I exploded. My heart and soul fell in love with AIESEC even more, once more again. And from that point on, this is where the true story of my experience begins. So this is the part where I became National Vice President for Marketing Communications in AIESEC Canada. I entered this term completely scared. I was like, it's not possible for me to run an entire country with my team of 7 and then realize that there's 3,000 so volunteers behind me, 30 local chapters, and one of the biggest kind of challenges in front of us was we had a really lacking digital presence. So the way I did that was through several key milestones. Number 1 was the national website. I was given about $10,000 to do this, and I did this roughly in about less than $2,000. I saved a lot of money, but not only just money, but also empowered and changed and transformed the entire way marketing communications was done throughout the entire country. From the way we interacted with our customer online and offline, to the way we optimized the process to ensure that the customer is going through a very smooth process. But also, most importantly, giving the members the right training, the tools, but also the energy and inspiration and passion to rally all these things together. And by doing so, it has transformed the way we've completely done everything. And I only envision for the next few months, I've only further connected the dots between the outside world and what we have in AIESEC Canada. And the success that I've seen throughout of this has been phenomenal. From being able to keynote in front of a government audience with corporate representatives, to eventually running several kind of workshops and panels in front of thought leaders, this has challenged what I thought was possible for myself. I found that I have this profound ability and a very unique sense of connecting the dots between multiple places. Places that you thought, there's no direct correlation, but in fact there's many kind of invisible points that make the remarkable happen. And by understanding this kind of process, you're able to bring in not only traditional public relations, but also digital, social, and also mobile content, and unleashing the power of AIESEC's heart and soul and our stories, and sending that off to the world. And I think this is what's truly missing in AIESEC right now, is that storytelling component. It sounds very simple, but it requires a lot more thought process around it, and this is why I'm running for this position. So enough of the little kind of formalities, I'm going to jump a little bit more into the heart and soul of why I'm so passionate about this role. So when I thought to myself, if I had to do one more thing in AIESEC, what would it truly be? And I thought to myself, the thing I love so much doing in AIESEC is really telling the story. Telling the story of how these youth leaders across the world are trying one by one to transform the way we see everything. And the reason why I think this role is so powerful is because you get to connect the heart and soul of what we all are as youth leaders in AIESEC with the hearts and minds of the entire world. And I believe by building that trust component and also the connection between everyone else, it makes me truly excited to do this role, because once you do that, that's where you'll start seeing AIESEC being known in the world. Because without that emotional connection, without that trust and credibility, we can't truly succeed in what we want to do in the world without that true connection. And so when I think to myself, by the time I'm done AIESEC and I'm like 50 years old and I'm now that epic alumni, what do I want to be known for? I want to be known for that guy who first started this trend of storytelling very vividly in the organization. And it's not just through fluffy videos, but it's through actually having a tactical and grounding in marketing to understand how that's delivered to the world.
From what I have seen, you young people are going to change the world, and you have to be the change that you want to see.
What kind of leadership can I give?
If I have a role to play, where do I start?
Do I start leading change in myself, in my community?
What does it take to start with myself?
Will it make a difference?
You are never too young to lead. You are never too young to do what you actually believe in. We keep saying that the future belongs to the young. It only belongs to you if you take it.